Hello and welcome to another match reaction on Football Talk podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Now, forget the performance. What a result for the Reds. This game could be monumental in our quest to win the title at the end of the season. We'll touch on this in more detail during the show. So let's review the key moments of the game. I'll then present my player ratings. It's also a calling show, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the link is pinned in the live chat. But before we discuss the first half, let's have a look at the lineups and compare it to what I predicted in the previous show. So we'll start with the Nottingham Forest lineup. And as you can see, quite a different personnel from what I expected in the previous show. Sells was the goalkeeper, which I predicted. In terms of the back four, Toffolo started at left back instead of Niakete, who I thought would have started in this game. And Omar Bamidele starts in the centre of defence. And then you've got Dominguez, who starts in the double pivot. But I thought it would have been Danilo, but it's actually Yates that started in this fixture. And our former cult hero, Divock Origi, starts the game, but this time in a slightly different position on the right wing that allowed Elanga to play further up top, and Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi started the game as predicted. In terms of the Liverpool lineup, pretty much what I expected. The only difference was that Bobby Clark started ahead of McConnell. I thought McConnell might have got the nod for this one, but maybe due to Clark's more attacking instinct and creativity in the final third, probably gave him the edge in terms of the selection there. But the rest is exactly what I predicted, and I'm sure you guys did as well. So let's start with the first half in terms of my review. So even Stevens for me in the opening 15 minutes. Liverpool get their first opportunity through Luis Diaz, who cuts in and shoots, but his shot is deflected for a corner, but no outcome from that set piece. But it was Nottingham Forest who almost opened the scoreline. Origi on the right side hits a lovely through ball to Elanga, who drives with the ball one-on-one with Kelleher. Hits a low shot that was blocked by Kelleher with his feet. Good save from our goalkeeper there. Bobby Clark, who for me was one of our positive sparks in the first half, creates some space, tries a cold effort towards the top bins, just goes over the bar. But then moments later, Clark almost breaks the deadlock. Bradley hits a low cross in the box. Bobby Clark then hits a shot that was blocked by the Forest defence. Diaz tries to score from the loose ball, but saved by Sales. Diaz then has a chance himself as McAllister hits a lovely through ball. Diaz on the right side goes for the first time shot / cross. The ball goes across goal. No end product there, unfortunately. But then Liverpool have another chance as McAllister digs a lovely through ball once again over the Forest defence towards Gakpo, who decides to head it back into the middle of the box. Wrong decision, in my opinion. Should have gone through on goal himself there. So overall, in terms of the first half, a flat opening 45 minutes for the Reds. Nottingham Forest, for me, were in more control, but this never looked like they were going to score, apart from that Elanga chance. Liverpool haven't played with much intensity in the first half, so I'm expecting much better from the Reds in the second half. And Liverpool almost broke the deadlock in the opening minutes of the second half. Great pullback by Bradley, who finds Robertson in the box, but his shot is deflected for a corner. So at that stage, things just weren't working. Liverpool had to change personnel and go with a different approach, and substitutions were made in the hour mark. Robertson and Bobby Clark are off for Endo and Nunes. This allows Gomez to switch to left back. Endo goes in midfield. Gakpo moves to the right to allow Nunes to lead the line centrally. And Nunes makes an instant impact, has a shot towards goal with his left foot. Unfortunately, it hits the side netting. Owoni, who also just comes off the bench for Origi, who got a round of applause from every section of the stadium, which was a nice moment. Owoni makes an instant impact himself as well. Cuts back a pass towards Elanga on the right-hand side. Hits a great low shot, but just misses the target. Slight concerns there for me, as I thought that ball was going to hit the back of the net. But then moments later, Liverpool on the counter-attack through McAllister, threads the ball towards Gakpo. Gakpo finds himself on the right side of the box, takes a shot, but hits the side netting. Now, Nunes was a player that laid it off before McAllister threaded it towards Gakpo. He was furious that Gakpo didn't pass the ball. For me, I know he might not be on form right now, but I think it was the right decision for Gakpo to go towards goal and take a shot as he was in a good position. Just poor execution in the end. Diaz goes on a great run from the left-hand side. A 1-2 with McAllister. Finds himself in the middle of the box, but hits the powerful shot that goes way off the mark. And then substitution made. A nice return for Dominic Szoboszlai, who comes off the bench for Harvey Elliott. Hudson-Odoi cuts in and has a shot from the edge of the box. Saved by Kelleher. Bradley pretty much took the sting out of that ball there, so he wasn't going to trouble Kelleher whatsoever. So Szoboszlai has a crack towards goal, blocked by Callum Hudson-Odoi, corner for Liverpool. And substitutions are being made. Gakpo and Bradley are off for Dans and Tsimikas. That basically means Gomez has to switch over to a different position in the game, over to right back. And there's a moment where Dans is wrestled down to the ground by Danilo. Penalty shout from the Reds, but nothing was given, unfortunately. Nunes then has a chance as he cuts in from the left-hand side, but his shot is blocked by 2-3 Nottingham Forest defenders. Moments later, Diaz also has a shot that was deflected for a corner. And Tsimikas, who I thought did really well coming off the bench, hits a lovely cross into the box. Nunes was just unable to make any contact. Great play by Dans to hold up the ball and lay off to Tsimikas before that chance was created. Liverpool didn't have a corner. Hits the back of Murillo, and I thought it was going to hit the back of the net, but Sells makes an unbelievable save for Nottingham Forest. But then Forest hit Liverpool on the counter-attack as Hudson-Odoi skips past Joe Gomez, drives with the ball, hits a pass across field towards Gibbs-White. His effort is blocked by Van Dijk for a corner. And this is the moment. Liverpool get a last-minute corner, and they finally broke the deadlock. Szoboszlai takes the corner, and Tsimikas lashes a shot towards goal. Thought it was going in, to be fair. Great block from the Forest defense, but that didn't kill the move as McAllister controls the ball, cuts in, hits a lovely dink pass with his left foot towards the near post, and Darwin Núñez leaps and nods the ball into the back of the net. I had a feeling we were going to score in that moment, and what a feeling it was to grab the last-minute winner, and huge celebrations from the players, and rightly so. And that's the end of the game. Forest will feel hard done by as they defended fantastically today and showed some good moments in attack. But this Liverpool team showed their mentality today. They kept going, and in the crucial moment, they stayed calm and calculated and got the winner in the end. So a huge win for Liverpool, who maintained top spot with 63 points. Now, this win is vital for the title race, where I'm sure if we look back at the end of the season, and maybe we'll label this game as the one that changed the fortune of our season and possibly springboarded us to winning the title. 11 more games to go. Doesn't get bigger than this next week as we face Man City at Anfield. And speaking of Man City, they play Manchester United tomorrow in their derby. Now, a draw would have been a fail result for me if we didn't get that last-minute winner, as I'm expecting Man City to slaughter Manchester United tomorrow. But that's our review for today. Just going to go through the comments before we do the player ratings. And then we've got Jay Kismet says, bless bro, you never walk alone. Big up yourself, Jay Kismet. Thank you for your comment and thank you for tuning in. Esman TV says, big up bro. And he says, keep up the great work. Appreciate it, Esman TV. Thank you for your support as always. So let's do the player ratings and we can go into more detail. And if you're watching live, feel free to drop your scores in the live chat as well. So let's load up the graphic for you guys. So let's start with the goalkeeper. So for me, another solid performance from our goalkeeper. Made a couple solid saves during the game, especially in the first half. For me, he kept himself calm and composed at the back in terms of his distribution. There's only that one moment where he nearly gave the ball away, but he reacted well to get it away and find a Liverpool player. And look, we'll need him in the upcoming games, and we need him to keep these level of performances, as it's been announced from Klopp that Alisson will possibly be out for quite a while. He's not said that it's a it's an injury that will rule him out for the rest of the season. Like, could rule him out for quite a long period of time, which is such a shame. With lots of games coming thick and fast, but hey, we've got to crack on and get on with it. So, in terms of my score for Kelleher, I'm going to go for an 8 out of 10. Let's start with the right back. So, Conor Bradley, I thought he had an average game, to be fair. Very quiet in the first half. I noticed that he played the inverted role quite a few times. Did well with the ball. But second half, I think he improved a lot and was much better on the ball, made use of the ball more efficiently and played with more urgency. He was in better attacking positions going forward. So, no, a better performance in the end. So for him, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10. Konate, another solid performance from Ibu. Really physical in his defensive play today. Improved in the second half. And he really had to step up as Owoni was a difficult opponent later on in the game. Passing for me could have been a little bit better. Gave the ball away a couple of times. But overall, for me, did a decent job for the team. So today I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. Van Dijk, a great performance from our captain. Very solid defensively, making a number of blocks and clearances. One comes to mind is when Owoni was driving the ball and kept his distance. Didn't really dive in or try to block it straight away. Tried to make himself as big as possible so he couldn't really execute a shot. And it helped with Bradley coming in along and tag teaming him there. But in terms of his overall game, passing was good. Definitely the driving force in the second half. He was leading from the back, very vocal, trying to get the players to play in a certain manner. So true captain's performance, in my opinion. So for today, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 as well. And for Robertson, a good performance from our left back. I thought he showed a good balance in his play altogether. Defensively sound and attacking-wise, I think he did really well, providing width and added some good passes to his game. Almost scored in the second half of his shot. That was unfortunately blocked for a corner. Taken off around the hour mark. I don't think it was due to his performance. It's more of a precaution and to make sure that he's raring to go in our upcoming fixtures. We've got a Europa League tie next week against Slavia Prague, and then we've got a big game of the season against Man City next Sunday. So, yeah, he needs to be rested and, yeah, make sure that he's ready for those games. So, in terms of his performance today, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10. And let's go with our midfield. So let's start with Joe Gomez. So solid performance from Joey G. Played in the CDM probably for about an hour. I think there's a lot of high expectations in terms of when someone plays in that role. He kept it simple for me, kept it neat and tidy. And in all fairness, that's what you want from your CDM. Because he's not a natural CDM, he's not going to play the game to a different level. But, you know, in the situation where we've got so many injuries, you want your players to stand up and fill the void when required. And Joe Gomez has done that several times for this season. So I thought he had a solid performance in that CDM role. Made some good tackles, especially in the middle of the park. Then he switched over in the fullback roles, played left back, then played right back, and did well. Also played a part in the goal for me, as it was his kick on the defender that led to that corner. So smartly done from Joey G there. So in terms of his performance, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Now, McAllister, yeah, for me, he was very, very good today. Fantastic performance from Mac 10. A quiet first half, but still showed glimpses of his passing range. Got more involved in the second half. Very quick and neat on the ball. Played a lot of through balls. Probably mentioned dinked past several times in my review there. That's the kind of level of passing he was showing. A lot of passes actually should have led to more goals. And our finishing wasn't on point today, unfortunately. But the assist showed great calmness, great composure, and precision with the pass. So for me, he had a fantastic performance altogether. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Bobby Clark, a very positive performance from our youngster. Showed great energy and passing range in the first half. did a cheeky nutmeg in the opening minutes of the game, which is always a confidence boost. But good to see him getting some minutes. Thoroughly deserved, as he's shown a great account of himself, whether it's coming off the bench or starting the game. He's always done well. Tries to keep the ball in possession. And yeah, he's still getting used to the speed of our game. But I feel like he showed a good performance nonetheless. So for today, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Harvey Elliott, I thought he had a decent game today as well. Had a free role in the first half as he was pretty much playing everywhere. He was on the left, central, right, just did what he wanted in the first half. He was taken off. He looked quite disappointed in the second half. I think Klopp was just thinking ahead in terms of trying to wrap him up in cotton wool for the upcoming games. But I feel like he had a good game today. Maybe not as impactful as previous games, but I still feel like he did a good job for the team. So for me, he gets a 7 out of 10 as well. Now, this is the one where it'll be a big talking point amongst us fans. So let's talk about our Dutch attacker. He was poor today. Let's not beat around the bush. Hardly involved in the game. And I mentioned this in our match reaction against Southampton a few days ago. He needs to show more aggression and urgency in his play. He's been given a consecutive run of games recently to make an impression on the team. And unfortunately, I don't think he's taken it with both hands. I expect more from him as he's a quality player, technically very good, just needs to work on certain areas of his game. Let's hope he's able to regain some form in the coming weeks. But in terms of his performance today, unfortunately, I can't give him a very high ranking at all. So it's a 4 out of 10. And Luis Diaz, another good performance from Lucho, constantly attacking that left-hand side, showed some eye-catching moments with his skill and dribbles, had a couple of chances to score, but wasn't able to convert. I thought he was the only attacker that was willing to take a risk and try to make things happen. And he might get criticized by some fans for that. I applaud it. I like to see my wingers do that sort of thing. I don't want it to be where they keep it safe all the time. I want them to be a bit more of a maverick, try and attack that left-hand side. Got to do some skills here and there, try and make things happen or try and create something out of nothing that could hopefully lead to a goal for the team. And that is what he brings to our table. And hopefully he goes on and continues this form because I feel like I think he's done really well since the turn of the year. Some fans will disagree in terms of his conversion rate. But for me, he does it for the team in terms of stretching the flanks, creating space towards that left side in the central area. So you have to give him plaudits. And he's been quite smart in terms of how he's been playing, has been shifting infield quite a bit more, has even drifted in the right at times. So he's shown different ability in terms of shifting to different positions. So no, I've been impressed with him so far this season. And I thought he had a good account of himself today as well. So for today, I'm going to give him a 7.5 out of 10. So this is my ratings for the first 11. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. Just going to go through sort of the comments here. So let's start with Keep It Real 7. It says, big up, figure out yourself. Thank you for tuning in. And you say you don't want to see him play there again. So I'm assuming you're referring to Joe Gomez. Yeah, I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not saying it's my cup of tea either. You just have to look at the situation in terms of where we are squad-wise. We don't have the numbers to just play anyone in that defensive midfield role. Obviously, we've got Endo back, so that's a huge boost for upcoming fixtures. So, yeah, I understand your opinion there, but it's not a long-term solution. He's just filling in for the short term due to so many injuries in our squad. And before we wrap up, I've just got to review some of the subs that came on. So let's bring them on the graphic here. So Endo came on for Robertson. So I'll put the players in their correct positions very shortly. Nunes came on for Bobby Clark. So we put Darwin Nunes there. And Szoboszlai came on for Elliott. And then, unfortunately, this website doesn't have Dan's, so I'm not going to replace Dan's with Gakpo. He's not available, and I can't even find a person named Dan's in this website. So we'll just have to leave it be for now. And then we've got Simicast coming on for Bradley. So there we go. So let's put them in their correct positions. It'd be good if I can actually add Simicast here. So yes, so Joe Gomez ended up playing right back. So Simicast on the left, Joe Gomez there, Endo here, and then Szoboszlai in midfield. Nunes up top, Gakpo on the right. Yeah, we can just leave it at that. So let's start with Endo. So Endo came on around the hour mark. I feel like he did a decent job. Wasn't as impactful, I would say, in previous games in terms of his passing, but definitely had a composure in that midfield. I feel like we were a lot more calmer in possession. So I feel like he had a decent account when he came on. Good to see him back. We've missed him the last couple of games. And I feel like even just in terms of his distribution and his, I would say, his tenacity in his play is something we've lacked in midfield. So yeah, good to see him back. So for his score today, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he did decent today. Darwin Núñez came on and scored the winner. So I'm not going to review his performance too highly. When you score the last minute winner like Daniel, the match winner, you only get one score. It's 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's my rating for Núñez. Less said, the better. In terms of Szoboszlai, yeah, you could tell he's been injured for a while. Looks slightly off pace. Showed good flicks here and there. Gave the ball away quite a few times as well. So not his best of performances. So for today, I'm going to give him. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong player. Give him a 6 out of 10. Where is Szoboszlai? There we go. 6 out of 10. And the next player in line, Simicast. I actually thought Simicast was really good when he came on. And he has been in the last couple of games, whether he's come off the bench or he started the game. I feel like he's looked very energetic. His passing's been good as well. So no, good to see him back. I feel like it's definitely a welcomed addition to the squad. So for today's performance, I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. And I think that's all of the players there. So it goes without saying who my man of the match is. He's got 10 out of 10 there. So yeah, so we can just crown him. There we go. Man of the match. Let me know who you guys think is your man of the match today. It was, for me, it would have been McAllister, but due to the nature of the winner, you have to give it to Darwin Núñez. But yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I can see we've got a couple of callers in the back, so let me get them on the show. So we'll start off with Jake Kismet and Frank. Guys, how's it going?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely delighted. I'm saying that he was giving out the 10 out of 10 or whatever, marks out of 10 for the lads. I was just made up that the likes of Szoboszlai, we know that he's fit and he will get more minutes before the Manchester City game. So I predict that he'll play at least the first or the second half against Prague. And to give him those minutes, because you were quite right by saying you could tell that he's off the pace, being injured. And to have those and to have him back, I'm absolutely delighted. And I'll just give you my man of the match. I know you mentioned about Darwin, which was absolutely incredible. And don't forget, he just missed that save by the keeper from another header he had.
Yeah.
Which we thought was going to go in. But that header, and don't forget, it was how the cross was put over to him. The way McAllister just got the ball and he just turned, didn't he, that play, he just turned around, looked up, seen where Darwin was, and he just crossed it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Ozzie.
It was that yeah, for me, McAllister was the man of the match, but I think due to the to the sort of end of the game, I just had to get to Nunes. But yeah, you're spot on. McAllister, and he did that so many times throughout the game in terms of those lovely through balls, dinked it over the defense on numerous occasions, especially I think towards Gakpo, but Gakpo just didn't have his thinking cap on today, unfortunately, in terms of executing the right type of shot. There was one moment where he dinked it and then Gakpo tried to head it back to the middle of the box. There was no one there. It was for him to kind of take it on. So that was a little bit disappointing from his part. But yeah, McAllister for me was sensational today. Really good in terms of passing. And one of our experienced midfielders in the pitch as well. So no, good to see him in action as well. Jake Kismet, how you doing?
Top of the world, bro. Top of the world.
Yeah, let me know what your thoughts on the game.
All in all, is that a funny feeling we'll get the winner at the end? They started singing some songs, anti-Liverpool songs.
Really?
As soon as I started hearing them, as soon as I heard them, I said, we're getting the winner today. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. But, you know, this is a title race now where 2 weeks ago, with the injuries we had, I think majority of the fans were proper on a negative sort of vibe. But I think the guys have shown us, the fans, like the heart and the spirit they have within the club. You're getting guys who are 19, 20, 21 coming on the pitch and like putting a shift in like they've been playing for us with us for years. And I think that's Klopp and the way he treats the young guys, that respect. I think a lot of coaches, because they're young, could give the younger guys a lot of grief with the way they talk and stuff. And I think Klopp's the sort of guy who would show them that respect. And the result is them guys putting a shift in.
Yeah, it gives them the freedom to play. And you can see it where if you watch any sort of youngster around that sort of 18, 19 bracket breaking through another team, you can tell that they're playing with like huge pressure on their shoulders. They're not playing with that freedom. But under Klopp, I don't know how many players we've played through our youth system this year, but they all just feel like they're tailor-made for this team. And they've played with such confidence, no nerves. And I think the beauty with Klopp is that even if they didn't have a great game, he would never say anything to them to devalue their contribution to the team. Every player's put in a shift, whether it's a 5-minute cameo or they've played 10, 15 minutes. Like Dan, for example, when he came on today, he didn't play for too long, but he showed aggression in his play, which is something I say Gakpo lacks in his game. And in terms of his hold-up play, I feel like he did really well. There was that moment where he held the ball and gave it to Tsimikas, and then he produced the cross. So, no, the youngsters, they're doing it for us. Rival fans aren't going to give us any plaudits about these youngsters. I think because they're just like, oh, you still got senior players in your team. But, you know, we're at the moment where we're trying to field some experienced players on our team, and it's slowly getting there. Obviously, Frank has just mentioned that Szoboszlai is back. That's a huge boost, in my opinion. Endo back as well. That's a major boost. Nunes, it's a difference maker in terms of what he brings to the pitch. And I feel like so many fans have split an opinion about Darwin Nunes, but you can tell we've missed him as well because we don't have a forward like him that's so aggressive in his play. He might miss chances here and there, but the thing is, a lot of his chances are created on his own accord. So I'm very pleased that we've got some of these big guns back in the team. And yeah, looking forward to the game next week. I know we shouldn't really put the Europa League to one side, but I'm looking forward to that Man City game. What are your thoughts in regards to next Sunday's fixture? How are you feeling going into that game?
Who, me?
Yeah, you, Frank.
Oh, sorry. Do you know what? With the likes of Szoboszlai, if he gets more minutes against Prague, which I think he will, I think he'll play one of the halves. Could play the full game, to be honest, but you know, one of the halves will do me. 45 minutes will do me, and he'll be up there near his fitness best, match fitness best. I mean, that'll make a massive difference in midfield. We're alongside McAllister, who's absolutely, and you're seeing him today, you're seeing the class. He just oozed class today. And with Enzo as well back, because Enzo is pivotal as a DM. So I take Nunes back, along with Diaz. And Diaz has been getting some stick, but it's that lad today was trying, he was going at them again. He was, you know, as usual, he was harassing their defence. He was harassing their defence. And I think with Nunes and Diaz and hopefully Salah, because Jürgen said that he'll be ready. Remember the other day, yesterday or sometime, he said he'll be ready next week. He'll be back next week. And imagine him, Nunes and Diaz going at the City defence. I'm telling you, and our defence now, you know, back to normal, because Konate is playing absolutely brilliant. Virgil, well, you know, you don't have to mention him, how he's playing. And you've got now young Bradley, who's playing out of his skin. And you hit the nail on the head, actually, Ozzie, when you turned around and said, you have the lads, the young kids, going out there and they fear no one.
No.
They fear no one. And they know how Liverpool play because it's drummed into them in the academy. It's just drummed into them. So they know, they come on, full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of passion. And they just know where to play and how to play. So with the likes of that, you know, those in the background, we've got our defence back. This is against City. You've got Kelleher, who's outstanding.
Yeah.
So you've got our defence, you've got our midfield, you'll have our forwards, and I tell you what, we'll beat them. I'm telling you now, we will beat at Anfield Manchester City.
I share the same sentiment as you. Mentioning Salah as well, I think Klopp said that for this fixture it was touch and go. So that tells me that he's ready, or he's on the verge of being ready. So I think in terms of the next fixture that we've got, Slavia Prague, I would say he probably comes off the bench and plays about 20, 30 minutes, just gets a bit of a run out. So Bozlai, I agree. I think he should probably at least play a half or an hour of that game just to kind of regain that fitness. And it feels like our squad is almost returning back to its normal fold. I know Trent isn't quite available yet, neither is Alisson. But the players that you mentioned, they are going to be key into our upcoming games. So in terms of Man City, you're right. We have got a defense back. We've got our first choice in terms of Robertson, Virgil, Konate, and Bradley, but we've got Gomez as well, who can kind of occupy any of those positions. So and Tsimikas on the left side as well. So we've got those numbers back. Endo being back is good. But I think in terms of midfield, we're slightly short in numbers because of Jones. But Elliott has been doing really well in the last few weeks. So he can play in more of a number 8 role. And in terms of our attackers, I'm glad to see Nunes back. And I'm not someone here who's going to scapegoat Gakpo in terms of his performance recently. But for me, he just hasn't been potent in front of goal. And you can see the difference that Nunes brings to the table. And having Salah back as well, that's going to be a mouthful in prospect against Man City. And I have to agree with you. I'm very confident going into that game. If it was at the Etihad, then I probably wouldn't be as confident. But because it's at Anfield and they don't have a great record against us at Anfield. So, you're going to have to, it's in our court. I feel like if we win, it's going to be a sort of mental boost against our rivals, because it's like it'll be hopefully a 6-point gap. And then, that's going to give a psychological advantage for us going into other games this season. And that's what you want at this stage. So, yeah, I'm just as confident as you, Frank. I'm hoping we get the W next Sunday. Jay Kismet, let me know your thoughts in terms of the Man City game. How are you feeling about that fixture?
Like for today's fixture, I was happy that no one got injured. Happy that Sobotlai Darwin got back on the pitch with Endo, considering Endo was in a boot about a week ago. So these are sort of good early signs for the week to start off on a good foot. We got a game on Thursday.
Yeah.
Timing wise, not good, but then again, it can give maybe Salah and Sobotlai game time to be ready for Sunday. Against Man City, well, they've got United tomorrow, so we can look at them after that, see who gets injured, who's got a red card, maybe, because that's what most of the games when I watch Man City, I'm thinking, come on, give us a red card, Rodri or someone, 3 games. So that's what we could look forward to tomorrow. Arsenal on Monday, but next Sunday, City at home. I'm never overconfident. I'm always I'm confident, but not over the top confident. Like like today, it was a 0-0. I think a lot of fans. I even said like 3-0, my prediction or something like that. So, and what happened? It took the last minute 1-0 to win. So, City next week. I think the atmosphere is going to make a big decision on that game. I think the fans start from the start, shouting, singing, everything. 3 points. Is it the title decider? That's the question.
I think
Arsenal. Don't forget JK as well, and Ozzie. We're playing at Anfield, and it'll be the first time that Manchester City. I always remember that Kyle Walker when we beat them 3-0 in the Champions League that time at Anfield. And after the game, he said, "I've never heard a noise like that in my life, in my football career. I've never," and it frightened them. Now they're coming to Anfield next Sunday, and it'll be a packed house. Less than 60,000 capacity, and the roar and the noise will be deafening to them, where everyone behind us, except the Manchester City fans, obviously, but there's only about 3,000 of them, and 7,000 of us. So, that plays a major part in Liverpool. And as you said, Ozzie, they haven't had so much, they haven't really come to Anfield and sorted us out, over the years.
Yeah.
It's always we've been the daddy. And I really believe that we will beat them next week. I really believe that.
No, I agree with you, Frank. You're getting me excited for the fixture even more so than I was before. And I agree. I don't think we're being like overconfident as we're going to thrash them or whatnot. But you're right. The crowd is going to be literally our 12th man, right? They're going to play a big role in terms of how we are, and that day it's going to feel like a European night. The way the atmosphere is going to be built, it's not going to be just a normal Premier League game, because our fans are going to be up for it more so than ever. And if we get the win as well, I know some fans will be thinking the title's coming. I wouldn't say that's it, but I do feel like it is slightly of a title decider, because it's a huge psychological advantage if we beat City, because City is a team that everyone's like, oh, they're going to walk away with it, they're going to run away with it. No one's really talking about Liverpool in that sense. And I think people expected us to fall today, especially when it was 0-0 towards the latter stages. They didn't see that last minute winner coming. I feel like some of us fans, I sensed it, because I feel like we were doing it in terms of we were quite persistent. We weren't very clinical, but I just thought it just needs that one moment, and that would have clinched the winner for us. So I don't feel we're getting as much respect as we should do. But hey, sometimes for us Liverpool fans, we like to play the underdogs, so we don't really mind that the light is on the Arsenal or the Man City. I don't really think Arsenal are in a position to really have a say in this title race right now. I do feel like it is a two-horse race, in my opinion. Some fans might disagree, but I feel like the way we're playing, we're so consistent right now. It's such a good sign. And I think because of the young players coming through as well, it's just making this season even more special than it normally probably is when you're in a title race. So, because everyone's played a part, every single person in that squad has played a part. So no, Frank's exciting me even more about this fixture. I feel like doing a match preview right now, but it's one to look forward to. Guys, give me your score predictions for that game.
Starts off with JK.
I'll go for Thursday quickly. I'm going to say a 2-0 win away. And then I'm going to go for Sunday. I'm going to go for 2-1. 2-1 us.
You are nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Frank?
The Thursday, I think he'll play, besides a couple of senior players, I think Adrian will play in goal. I really do. I think he'll keep Kelleher back just in case.
Yeah.
And I think with the likes of Szoboszlai, he'll get 45 minutes, or as you said, an hour. You never know.
Yeah,
But he will get minutes for the Sunday game. I think Salah will play as well. He'll play some part just to get him up and running, to get him into some sort of rhythm. I think he'll play. But I think that will be the end then of, the most senior players. If Robertson's okay, I think Tsimikas. I don't mind Tsimikas, actually.
Me too.
I don't mind him at all. I'm going to say something here which might be a little controversial. I think he's a better crosser of the ball than Robbo.
I don't think that's a wild shout. I've noticed that as well. I feel like he's got better variation in his crossing than Robertson. Where Robertson normally goes for that high ball towards the far post, but Tsimikas can play it low. He has better sort of execution, like more pace in the passing. So I don't think that's a wild shot at all, Frank. I think some fans actually agree with that as well.
What's funny as well that go Frank.
But then again, we've got these lads that, and I think Bradley will play, because that Bradley, he's got so much energy.
Yeah.
He can play as many matches. So I think he'll play, like say for 1 half or whatever. But I think he mainly play the kids. And if we come away with a draw, or even, a low defeat, say like 1-0 or 2-1 or whatever, I think we should sort them out at Anfield in the return leg.
Yeah.
So coming back to Sunday, I'm going to predict. Now, I mentioned before about when we beat them 3-0. I'm not going with 3-0. I think they will score. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you the score of 3-1 for Liverpool.
I love it. No, I think it'll be that sort of scoreline as well. But yeah, I think let's see how it, as Jake Kidman said, let's see how their game goes tomorrow. Hopefully they pick up 1 or 2 injuries. I don't want to wish that on anyone, but they've been very lucky.
Right.
They go fully fit squad. They go full.
Can I ask you something? Right,
go for it.
Tomorrow. Will it be the first time ever that you'll be supporting Manchester United?
I can't do that.
I can't do that.
So for me, a draw. A draw's like a,
Yeah. If they win it, I'll be pleased from our point of view. But yeah, I don't know. I just can't. I can't support them even for a short period of time.
You know what's so crazy? Some of their fans would want to lose just for us not to win the league. That's how 100%. Crazy football is.
It's true. It's so true. It's so true.
Just a good thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say how Robertson and Tsimikas, our left backs, have come back quietly. They've come back into it now. But there were two major sort of injuries, Robertson and Tsimikas, and like with all the catastrophe going on in the last few weeks with injuries, them two guys have just come back in. So that's good thing to see.
It really is. No, I agree. I think it really is. It's a boost. I think we've got so many players coming back, and they're all coming back around the same time as well. So Endo, Szoboszlai, Nunes coming back today. Huge lift for upcoming fixtures. And as Frank said, fingers crossed, we're seeing Salah very soon as well. Whether it's in the Europa League tie, I'm pretty sure that he will play in that City game. So yeah, exciting times ahead for us Liverpool fans. Frank, J. Kismet, thank you for your time and thank you for coming on the show. I'm sure we'll be speaking very soon.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Ozzie, for having me
Take
on.
care. Take care.
Thanks for having me on, bro. And you,
No
Frank.
problem.
Take care, bro. Bye.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
So that was Frank and J. Kismet. Yeah, Frank's got me excited for that Man City game, even more so than I was before. But yeah, we'll be doing a match preview in the next few days. So yeah, very, very exciting times for us Liverpool fans. You know, we are talking about the quad, and why not? We're in all competitions, so we have every right to speak in that manner. I'm just going to go through some of the comments before we wrap up the show. We've got Richard, who says, big up Ozzie, JK, Frank, and LFC fans. Liverpool need to believe to win the title. We are going for the quadruple. Many fans will never walk alone. I agree. We are going for the quadruple. Not saying we're going to win it, but we're in it to win it, right? So we have to go and keep going. And look, we've got a squad where some may think like we don't have the quality or the strength in depth. I did a season preview at the early parts. I think I did it in September, and I analyzed everyone's squad, and I feel like we had the numbers. So it's no surprise in terms of where we are in the league, but I feel like we had the numbers to kind of accommodate this sort of quad challenge. You know, we did it 2 years ago, fell short, unfortunately, but we've got that experience now. So I feel like, you know, everyone's more equipped to go again for these fixtures. And yeah, it's look, you got to enjoy these moments as well, because it's not always every season where you're going through all the trophies, all the belts, as some people would say. So it's a special moment for us fans when we're enjoying this sort of running coming through. Every game feels like a cup final. That's probably due to the fact that we're playing in different competitions, but also with Klopp leaving as well, there's a bit more emotion behind every game. So if we get that win next week against City, yeah, it's going to, I'm sure there'll be early celebrations for us Liverpool fans. But hey, let's see how it goes. We'll take one game at a time. You've got Richard, who's predicting a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And Beijing Pops, let us see. Thank you for your comment, Beijing Pops. He says, agreed, 2-1. And then he also said, you're in quad, let's go. Let's go indeed. Not shameful to say we are going for that quad. So yeah, fingers crossed we get it over the line. And yeah, we'll take it one game at a time and see how it goes. And that's a wrap up for today, guys. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Jay Kismet, Ensman TV, Keep It Real, Beijing Pops, and Richard for your comments. And thank you to Frank and thank you to Jay Kismet for coming on the show. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Lots of shows coming up next week. We'll be doing a match week 27 review. I think it'll be on Monday. I don't believe there's any Monday fixtures. Actually, no, there is. Jay Kismet mentioned Arsenal playing. So that'll be on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we'll be doing a match preview of our Europa League tie, which is Slavia Prague versus Liverpool. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Man City. So yes, a lot of exciting content coming up for you guys. As always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.